Yes, my village people. Hello, I greet you now. Today is another episode of On Our Politics. But what we'll be talking about today, we'll be talking about our uncle, Uncle Wike, Nelson Wike, and no other person than the governor of Rivers State, a state that is so rich that it has any governor, any person, anybody that you know attain that mantle of leadership of that state as a governor. They use the resources of that state rather to develop the people, to develop the state, or to empower the people. But no, they use the state resources to pursue their personal agenda politically. You know, who want to go back and start with what's his name, the first civilian, is this the first civilian governor of that state? I would say no, but in this current dispensation of the democracy that we are practicing, the first governor that emerged from there was Peter Odili. Peter Odili, with every resources available to him at that time, well, he decided to use it to pursue his political, interests. I don't have any problem with that. I don't have anything wrong with that. I mean, politics is all about, interests anyway. But if you decide to pursue that your interest with the state money, and the citizen of that state are not saying anything about it, but rather they cheer you on, they aid you on. I mean, who am I to say they are wrong? So Peter Odili started by, when he came to power, become the governor of state, and the next thing that he was trying to become the president of the country. Again, who am I to say that's wrong? It's not wrong. But when you are doing that, pursuing your personal goal with the state money, then I have problem with that. But again, the citizens say who you be, where you want to problem with how our money is being spent. So I did kind of understand that. So, but at the end of the day, that ambition crumble. And today, if you are not a political historian, if you know they follow Nigerian politics in earnest, you hardly know who Peter Odele is. If not recently, that his wife was caught up in those when the unknown people invaded her house in Abuja, that the name Peter Odele crop up again. If not, we will forget about him with all the resources and they have that state has. They use them to pursue their fruitless personal interests. The same thing goes to after Odili Amechi, I would say, decided not to follow the route Odile took because he saw how the man ended, but decided to opt out and follow another route entirely by joining a different party. And, he's still doing well. He's still one of the federal cabinet member, and he found favor with this political dispensation. He found favor with the current president. He found favor with his followership too. So now turn of Wike decided to say, well, I will be lousy with my state money. Yeah, so somebody could say, man, what are you talking about? Wike has done well. Wike is building infrastructure, changing the face of River State. Uh, with the potential that state has, with the amount of resources that state has, I think among the 36 state of the federation that said will include the federal capital territory. Now only Lagos will feel PHSA and go get money pass that states. So if anybody that come from there as a governor, they did lousy and begin to command national attention. It's not the surprising. It's not their political. It's not that they are that political savvy, they're genius. They can no. It's because there's money to throw around, and the people who really have who are supposed to be beneficiary of that money, that resources, they don't even know what is going on. They are the citizens of River State. So yes, today Wike they make noise. Wike they insult everybody. Wike they attack everybody because he has seen the handwriting on the wall, and it's becoming clearer by the day that this so-called new fame, new national pay that is getting is slipping away very Wike. He's attacking Amechi, he's attacking Raymond Dokwesi. I mean, if not the fact that you are actually losing the grip of what you think you are in control of, which is the party. I mean, Raymond Dokwesi, you go attack Raymond Dokwesi. That man you might have the resources to do that. That guy has a media house. If he deploys media house after you, I don't go know where your ambition will take you before it crash. But tagging Wike as a saboteur that is against him just because the man decided to also follow a political interest by being a front runner in terms of consultation. No, it's not even a front runner in terms of consultation. Being the man that is running Atiku consultation 2023 now, I don't see anything wrong with that. That's where his political interest lies. You see clearly that if Atiku eventually become the president of the country, the position of a chief of staff and so those juicy positions will likely come to him. I mean, who wouldn't do that? But Assad is doing an excellent job, by promoting, as far as I'm concerned, the only chance PDP has, to come back to power is through Atiku. There's no other person else in that party. Well, one would say Kwankwaso movement might give Atiku run for his money, but until and I mean the whole movement of Kwankwaso, until they come out and say we are going for the job, I won't say much about that for now. But yes, Wike being the money bag of among the 13 governors of PDP, to which 10 of them are not coming back, and Wike is one of them. But because of his resources, he was able to, in a way, assume the leadership, unofficial leadership of that group. And they are making unnecessary demand, foolishly demand. I mean, I'm not going to say their demand for the presidency must come to that is foolish, but it is foolish because they are selling the people of that region out cheaply. Because nowhere in the world with grown men who know the regime, the rules and regulations, how the game is being played, be demanding that the presidency must come to them without you necessarily working for it, which is kind of dumb in most. I mean, attack them as clowns. That's a clownish move, if you ask me. But Wike has beginning to see that even before the class of 66, which today I believe are the owner of PDP, before they came out and spoke clearly that hey, we are still here, we still own and control this party via the current national chairman of PDP. That is their man. As a man, as a member of the G7. No be boy where we can go fit toss around. But that was a great statement. That was a final, that's the first statement they put out there before we can say come. We see run shit. Yes, you might use if they use your state money now. They run around. They get political. They get little fame, if I should put it that way. We see on this thing. So even why, I mean, as I said, if you follow politics well, the last convention that PDP has in Rivers State before the election that brought Buhari back to second time, it was held in Port Harcourt. But with his own man, with his own boy being the chairman there, which is Secondos. But what still happened? Atiku still swap everyone clearly from his own living room and be emerged as the flag bearer, as their number one candidate with Peter Obi as his running mate. So that was his own house. So and again they came back 4 years again and still tell him to come. Now this is our party. You not just a couple of days ago you were begging for tickets to become the governor of Rivers State, then all of a sudden you think if you just come because you see how much Rivers you get if you just come begin run around like dog. they spend the money anyhow. So, but what is happening here? We think Wicked on this. Wicked on this the reality. The road is crashing on him. That's why it's easy. They make noise. Insult everyone, call everybody a name. How can you dare you say Tokwesi is a saboteur? No, it's not a saboteur. Tokwesi is just doing what every politician would do, running after his own interests. And that's a good job to take. I would do this. I would take it with a heartbeat to say Atiku. It's easy to sell Atiku. Atiku has been around for what? For a while now, and he has made the position clear for a very long time that he wants to rule the nation. He has the credibility, he's been tested and all that kind of. So it's easy to sell him, and I think Dokwesi is doing a very remarkable job. And by choosing to even start that journey from the east, he knows that no candidate will come from the east that will sell, because Nnamdi Kanu and the boys have said their part, sink that part of the region in terms of the Nigerian presidency. I don't think they will get in the next 50 years. Or the closest thing they will get is somebody who they were that force on them, or somebody who is close to them, somebody from the neighboring state, from Delta, Rivers, Cross Rivers, Edo, that's the kind of places that we use to just say, we told you guys. But so Wike is seeing that, is seeing how effective Raymond Dokwesi is bidding, is making his bid for his friend, his brother, somebody he believes in so much, which is Atiku Abubakar. So you can see where the tension is coming on Wike. And Atiku is not part of the governors, so in other words, they alienated him. The governor think they can just hijack the party and run them as they want. Yes, you can do that, but when the time matters most, the men will get party or come back and say, "Hey, we're back. Step aside. Let's run show." And that's exactly what you are saying. And again, it did not just stop at the question. The guy did fire Amechi back and forth. I mean, you've been after this man's ass for the past 7 years. Why are you still rekindling that hatred towards him now? Is it because he will likely be the anointed son of APC or Babuari? Is that why? And I would say yes. I mean, the youths of the North have spoken. Say, hey, Amechi, what's up? Are you coming out or not? So that is an indication. And I think being an insider, I mean, we can now must have more clue than what we are seeing from outside. That Amechi might be the likely son that Buhari is anything on. And that's why he's after Mechi, calling him names, accusing him of all sorts of shit as if we don't know. We know. But if the man decides to say he's sticking to his own political ambition, let him be. Focus. But again, it's hard to focus when you spend so much billions trying to put the party together, trying to keep the party going. That's PDP now. And you now see a threat coming from the opposition party, not from afar, but from your own house, far from your own political enemy, quote unquote. Yeah, you can see why Wike house is on ice, cold, and burning at the same time. So that's why. But as one may be saying, oh, what are you talking about? Mamechi has not even said anything yet. Yes, he hasn't. But you wait. The time when the guy will speak about his ambition, the whole narrative will change. The whole permutation will take a different dimension. And that's what Wike have foreseen. Wike have seen that sleepless nights. My brother Wike, you go have sleepless night. This is just the beginning of few of your sleepless nights you will have. So Wike is not a star as people think he is. He's a star. Anybody that is sitting on that river scoffer will be a star. We all see them. At the point, a passenger, you have to double his effort to make sure Odile did not come close to collecting the ticket, when they give it to Yaradua. So they have to go all out after him to make sure they carry him down. The same thing with Amechi, but Amechi, at this point, I respect his move. I used to see it as if it's a betrayal, but this is politics. I betrayed Goodluck Jonathan by the campaign and all that. But you know, that's when my emotion is trying to take it over me. But this is politics, and emotion doesn't work in politics. So I respect him for that. And I mean, it's still working for him. It's still very, very, very relevant in this current administration. So, and I think if they believe that is the man for the job, I think he earned it. It would be easy to sell Amechi, but I don't know if it's going to be easy to be sold as the number one citizen. I mean, we know Amechi. He's been doing so well so far. I think it's the style of this administration. You know, for him to be able to transfer what Buhari is thinking or doing to practical reality by building all those rail and all those roads and all that. So I think he ends the enviable position that he is now. He ends it. I won't blame Wike for doing what he's doing. But you know, as we move ahead, as we continue, as the day comes by, we'll see how the permutation will change, how Wike go back more. This is just the beginning of the backing. By the time Amechi decide to speak up and say yes, I'm for it, that Wike will go crazy. Wike will get mental health problem immediately. But let's see how that goes. Today, what I trying to explain is that Wike has seen the handwriting on the wall, and it's very clear that the game is drawing to an end for him. You know, when it's even obvious that even those governors that I think he has under his control are rolling out with their own personal interests, which most of them did not tie with what Wike is saying. He wants to be vice president, it's obvious. He's been saying that he's the best man for the job. So is Makinde. So is the governor of Delta State, who also wants to be the vice president. So that's why I call them clowns. But most importantly, the followers of that logic that presidency must come to this. That I'm more clownish than the governors themselves. It doesn't happen like that. Nobody, if you just sit down, they demand that the presidency of the most populous black nation in the world should just be given to you just like that because you are from the south. I don't think that's gonna happen. It's not gonna happen, and we can see it. That's why he's everywhere these days, attacking everyone, just saying all sorts of. But the game is crashing on him. It is crashing on him. We got no day again. But what do I know? We'll see how the game plays out, and if you are listening to this, just keep it with me. I'll get better with this, and we will keep going. Tomorrow we'll talk about is something that's related to the election. It's all about politics. We will, but at this point, I think it's becoming clear that how the presidency is going to turn out. I don't think it's going to leave the north. I don't want it to leave the north. I don't. My people are not ready. They are not ready. So I don't want it to leave the north. But if APC decide to say, okay, we want to zone it to the south, and Amechi is their favorite son, and I mean, I'll say I will support that, but I don't think the presidency is leaving the north. But that is my own personal opinion. That's what I'm saying. But we see as the time progresses, we will see how everything plays out. But Wike cry, Wike agony, Wike running around is because he's seeing the handwriting that the game is crashing on him. And on that note, I say see you tomorrow.